I'm Apolo Ohno, and welcome to Making Team USA, presented by Xfinity. Happy New Year! 2026 and Milano Cortina Winter Games are just around the corner now. And with only 5 weeks to go, we're back with another look into the lives and stories of the athletes looking to join Team USA, the toughest team to make. 2026 marks a lot of updates for hockey at the games. NHL players are back for the first time since 2014. The women are hunting for gold again, and sled hockey looks to dominate. We got a lot to talk about with Declan Farmer. All right, Declan Farmer, thank you so much for joining us here on Making Team USA, the toughest team to make. First off, brother, 3 back-to-back golds. That is really hard. The 2018, 38 seconds remaining. Dude, this is like clutch stuff. And you're going into these Olympic Games in Milan. Dude, like, not only congrats on an incredible career, but you're still in it. You're still in it to win it. And, like, walk me through, I want to know a little bit more about that PyeongChang event, because that is just so cool to be able to do that. And then also, like, where you're at today. Where's the mind at today?
Well, thanks for having me on, Apollo. Appreciate it. Yeah, PyeongChang was pretty crazy. That was my second games. It definitely was a dramatic finish. We're playing. It's actually the first time U.S. and Canada we ever played in a Paralympic gold medal game against each other. So, and we're, obviously the biggest hockey rivals. So there's a lot of hype there. They're winning 1-0 for most of the game. We actually pull the goalie and have an empty net, trying to tie the game up at the end. They get a pretty good look at it, and they hit the post on the empty net. So we were like, an inch from, being down 2-0, probably going to lose that game. Somehow we take it back. I'm kind of late getting back to the play, and I'm able to find the puck in the kind of high slot and just have a good look, and I'm able to tie it there. We take it to overtime. And, I mean, that's what you live for as a competitor. It's the most important game of the cycle. It's against your biggest rival. It's in overtime. We're, like, so hyped up from thinking we're going to lose and then tying the game, and now we have, like, a chance to win in overtime, and we're able to do that, and it's just, so special, so much fun.
All right, man. The hockey world has a lot going into these games. U.S. women's hockey, they're looking for a hard comeback, needed comeback, right? You've got NHL players that are coming back. You guys are trying to do something that is unprecedented, never done before. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, there's definitely some external pressure, but it really doesn't, as an athlete and as a teammate, you want it so much more, like, just naturally for yourself and for your team.
Oh, yeah.
And for our family. I mean, a lot of it, like, in Beijing, we didn't have any family there. So it's been, close to 8 years since we've had, like, actual friends and family, like, there with us to, like, share it in the moment. So, I mean, that's first and foremost. Like, that's what we're really pushing hard for and living for. But absolutely, I mean, USA Hockey, like, we've definitely been the ones, we have that reputation to uphold for sure, being able to win 4 straight golds. And the NHL guys coming back, I mean, USA Hockey, like, they want gold for all 3 of their teams that they're sending over. So, we don't take that lightly. Obviously, we want gold too. And all we can control is our preparation and execution when we're there, and we're, fully committed to doing that.
I love it. Light the fire within. That was the 2002 on the back of my medal. That's exactly what it said.
Nice.
Light the fire within. And as we all know, there's lots of external motivators there, a lot of external pressure, but the internal one is the one that doesn't push you, it pulls you towards your goal.
That's well said, yeah.
Yeah. And, we were talking offline a bit. You grew up in Tampa. That's been home for you, but, like, I don't see Tampa typically as a place for, like, deep, like, sled hockey infrastructure, especially for, like, a Paralympic athlete. So, like, where did this stuff come from?
Yeah, well, the Tampa Bay Lightning started sponsoring a club sled team when I was a kid there.
Cool. Really
cool.
I
was able to start pretty young. I was around 8 when I first began playing, and kind of just did it casually. And, it built up. It's actually like surprisingly, Florida's, a pretty big hotbed. There's actually 2 other national team players now that are from Florida. So it's bred a lot of good talent there. And
I think you had something to do with that, man.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Once you get a couple, younger players that are like into it and motivated, it kind of helps the community rally around and get more players involved. So that definitely helped for sure. But yeah, I live out in Colorado now, so I'm, away from the original home, but it all began in Tampa for sure.
Yeah. I spent well over a decade living in Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center there.
Okay, nice.
That was a big formative part of my career and path. Look, man, sled hockey is awesome. It's hard. It's brutal. There's a lot of skill involved, a lot of communication involved. What you guys bring to this squad, you've got maturity, you've got leadership, you've got experience. Where does your team need to be in February in Milan to make these dreams come true again?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's all about, peaking at the right time. As you know, obviously, it doesn't matter how fast you are, how good you are, unless you're on that day that you need to be. So we're kind of putting in the finishing touches on everything we've built. We have a really good core. The team, I'm personally going for a 4th medal in a row. Our captain's going for his 5th, and that's our, the whole, the team, USA Sled Hockey is going for its 5th in a row. There's guys on the team that are newer that haven't won any. So we're trying to come together as this group and win a medal for this group. And it's really about using these next 2 or 3 months before we head over there to just prepare ourselves in the best way. We can't control the competition. All we can do is, take a few areas of what we think is weakness in our team and try to build on that. And when the time comes to play those games, that's just an execution thing. You got to be on. I think we have the right leadership. The young guys have got the experience in the last few years who haven't had a games yet. I think they're going to be peaking at the right time. They're going to be contributing to the squad. So I feel good about where we're at, but it's weird stuff can happen in the games and you got to be ready for it. I think a big part of it is like being able to embrace a little adversity, be able to prepare for it, and just kind of keep going with what makes you succeed as a team in spite of anything else going on around you.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, 2 things I want to know that are a little bit more technical. How do you train these 2 things? How do you train acceleration in your sport and then change of direction? I know you've got like the picks right on the sticks. But how does that, what does the off-ice training look like? What does the on-ice training look like for those 2 things?
Yeah, good question. For the off-ice training, it's, it's a balanced sport in many ways because, you have these shifts. So they're sprinting like shifts, but you play over the course of a long game. So you have to have kind of like you have to have a good cardio base, but you also have to be able to train at that high intensity too. So we do a good mix of, zone 2 training, higher intensity training for cardio. For weight training, a lot of it, the way you skate, it's kind of cross-country Nordic skiing style. So it's a lot of back involved. So, we got to focus on strengthening our back, rows, pull-ups, with weights and, just trying to do them fast, to work on that explosion, to work on that acceleration. You really just need to focus on a lot of power stuff and speed stuff in the gym. So I think the guys generally focus on that more than other things. And then on the ice, it's, doing drills that involve going from a stop to a high speed. It's really just getting your speed work in too. So we do a lot of that at the beginning of practices, while we're fresher, and then we'll kind of go into more, technical stuff or shooting, passing, different things like that. So there's always a lot to work on in our sport because it is complicated. It's got the skating, it's got all the puck skills, it's got the physicality. There's when I'm thinking of drills to do at home, there's I have such a long list. You never get to all the ones you end up wanting to do. Yeah,
I find that really fascinating. All the nuances of energy systems you have to train in sled hockey. Your sport is such a skill-based sport too, but you need the physicality. It's all these perfect elements that are.
Yeah.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, and it's difficult too. You asked about the change of direction. That's that's a lot of stuff you'll do on the ice. I think a big thing for that is always trying to push yourself out of your comfort zone. Like, I think everyone has biases, whether they're, a little bit better at turning left than right. Because a lot of us have disabilities that are asymmetrical too. So that can affect how you sit in a sled and what's easier to do naturally. So it's about just kind of going out of your comfort zone and working on the things that are hard, so that, they eventually come easier. If you're always just relying on your strengths on the ice, you're never really going to get better. And we use 2 sticks too. I mean, I'm right-handed in real life, but in sled hockey, I'm an ambidextrous because we have to take advantage of having 2 forehands, 2 backhands. It's really like the coolest part about the sport.
Yeah, it's just there's so much complexity and dynamism associated with doing that, right? In speed skating, dude, we just always have to turn left. I mean, that's pretty much, I just wear tights and go really fast in circles, right? It's pretty simple. Try to beat the other guys. I love it. Look, you are the all-time leader in goals and points, right? And everyone always will talk about, like, that moment in PyeongChang, right? 38 seconds left on the clock. Boom, right? These things are what people remember, but talking about the 30 seconds before that moment, what's going through your mind? What are you communicating with your teammates? What's the energy like on the ice?
The energy is definitely focus. I don't think we broke. I mean, throughout the game, Canada had a 1-goal lead. They scored their first and only goal sometime in the first period. So we're playing the whole game. I get, watching the game back in years past, it's been a little bit, but you see how many scoring chances you miss. And that, that weighs on you in the game. I had a fair amount of scoring chances that I didn't capitalize on that I probably would have. There's a handful there. I mean, in an average game, there's probably a couple of those going in. But I remember there was a TV timeout with maybe 2 minutes left in the game, so kind of getting close to that critical moment. And our backup goalie in that game, Jin Lee, who's still an active player, he said, like, hey, this is like your moment. Like, this is what you train for. Like, just head down. Like, this is it right here. And I think that was really like the right attitude, because if you start trying to, get away from what you do right and start getting in your head like, oh my God, like, we're running out of time. Like, it's over. Like, you're not going to give yourself any chance. I think we just did a really good job for a pretty young team at that time. Just kind of staying cool, weathering the bounces, and just kept on pushing till we finally got something.
Yeah, it's really cool. What do you think, for those that have not watched sled hockey, are not familiar with this incredible Paralympic sport? Like, I want you to explain to people, like, what is the most common misconception about the physicality that exists in your sport?
Yeah, so some people might, who aren't familiar with, Paralympic sports at all, might think that there's like no body checking allowed, but it's full body checking. It's same as stand-up hockey. A little nuanced thing is that when you're getting checked around the boards, with stand-up hockey, there's the glass that starts maybe 4 feet up, and the glass will bend.
Yeah, it flexes.
Side to side it flexes.
Yeah.
But the boards don't really flex.
No,
so when
they
you get
don't.
into the boards, it's just like getting hit into a wall. So definitely, you have to be really cognizant about, a lot of people, if they're going into a puck battle and they're the first one in the boards, you actually want to get up against the boards so you can kind of just take the hit while you're already in the boards instead of getting hit into the boards. So that's one thing we look at. But, you mentioned those picks that we have in the bottom. We have ice picks at the butt end of our sticks to propel ourselves across the ice. And those, pretty much every game, you're going to catch a stray pick somewhere in your side. It's usually like, in your ribs. Like, we just had a tournament the other week. I have a couple, cuts along my like ribs and stomach and stuff. Like, that just happens.
This is medieval, man. This is medieval.
Yeah, it is medieval for sure. You have to like learn to like kind of protect yourself out there and just be aware of people who are being careless.
Nuts. Super cool. Super cool. All right. I want to know about, like, are you a music guy? When you prepare for a game, what goes on through your head? Like, when you're preparing and you're getting ready with your team, I just always go back to thinking about, like, the Herb Brooks, 1980 hockey team. It's all quiet. You've got Jack O'Callahan, taping up, I don't know what really happens back there in the locker room, but, I like to have this fantasy of what goes on. But walk me through, your process, man.
I feel like we have a really casual locker room. Some guys will just, there's actually a cohort of the team. I'm not a part of it. They play blackjack before the games. They're just
nice.
Some guys, we have a team warm up with our trainer. So everyone does that team warm up. Some guys, I'll do some additional stuff beforehand, just getting loose, different band work, whatever. But some guys don't really care to do that. They just sit around and play cards or just, hang out in the locker room, retape your sticks, whatever. I kind of like to do a lot of my mental prep, in the mornings of games. I'll typically rewatch, film from the most recent game or from the most recent time we played the team we're about to play, just to give myself some reminders of things I'm trying to work on. If I want to, for example, now I'm trying to work more on trying to carry some speed through the outside and not rely so much on, kind of dancing around people, trying to just beat people's speed more. So just kind of looking at tape to remind myself of those little things, so it's just fresh in my mind and I actually implement it on the ice, because that's a big thing when you're playing hockey. It's a bunch of chaos is going on at the time. You can have the skills, but if you don't remember to actually use them on the ice, it doesn't really matter. So that's a big part of the prep for me. But as far as music goes, we usually just do team speakers. So I think we've been playing a lot of 2000s alt lately, which is nice. Which I'm a fan of. Griffin Lamar is usually the one on the aux.
Nice, I like that. Yeah. Well, man, you've been the standard for U.S. para hockey for a long time here. These games are important for many reasons. I'm super excited. I'll be in Milan. Hopefully, we'll be able to come watch you compete. I want to know, you're a Princeton grad.
Yeah.
You just got married. Dude, you are the ultimate quadruple threat here. What did you study in Princeton? How did you manage this balance of life? This is cool. This is really cool, man. This is rare.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I studied economics at Princeton, which I enjoyed. I had a good time there. I graduated in 2020, so I was one of the COVID graduates that got cut a little short, but it was a good time while I was there. PyeongChang was during my sophomore year at Princeton, so that was that was tough. I at Princeton, you actually can't take semesters off. You have to take whole years off. So I just pushed through and was actively taking courses during that spring. So I got some flexibility from my professors. I didn't really have to do any work in PyeongChang, which was nice because we had spring break right after and just kind of made it up right after PyeongChang. So that was a rude awakening, going from winning in overtime to having to catch up of 3 weeks of econ courses in the span of 48 hours. But that's
talk about
what
cramming.
You
that's
for.
Legit cramming.
Yeah, it is for sure. But got married this past April.
Congratulations!
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was great. We were together since senior year of high school, so it's a long time coming. But it was awesome to finally do it, and great celebration. I had a lot of the team there, some retired players as well.
I saw that on your Instagram. It was cool.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it was a great crew. I mean, that's what I love, most about playing sled hockey and having the opportunity to be with Team USA so long, is just making these relationships over the years and getting to share in the personal life stuff with the guys. So definitely this is that's why I play for. That's my biggest reason for why I play is having that group and having that camaraderie.
Yeah, sports are incredibly unifying. Team USA is incredibly unifying. What you guys represent is, you represent the best of us, the best of what we want to be, who we want to be. And I think that's why we fall in love with these beautiful stories, whether it's the 1980 hockey team, your hockey team going into 26. These are really, really powerful moments in our country's history that we can rally behind. And you know what it is, man? It's they give us inspiration and hope when perhaps something in our personal life is not going well. That's what we lean into sports. We lean into your moments because we derive from your stories, from your challenges, from the stuff that you've gone through, and that grit and that perseverance and that champion's mindset is It's just so cool, man. I'm a long time retired, and I get goosebumps, you know, when I watch this stuff. So like I become a super fan all over again.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty special, like what we've done as a team, and just having this chance to, you know, be a unifier for sure. It's pretty incredible. You know, there's not many people who get the opportunity that we do to be a part of it, really.
I love it, man. I hope that you get to tell your story millions of times. It is inspiring, it's motivating, and I think that the world needs to hear more of it, you know? And all of us here in this production room are excited to watch and see what you guys do in Milan. We'll be behind you, we'll be cheering for you. Man, thank you for spending some time with us and giving us just a little bit of a snippet into your world. And we want to continuously keep cheering you on and supporting you. So I can't wait to see you in Milan.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. We're going to try to do our best to make it 5 straight Paralympics with gold for U.S. sled hockey. I heard recently that's like not too many teams like in Olympic or Paralympic history and in team sports have like gone 5 consecutive games. So I guess we're really getting into rare company if we can get the job done this time.
Yeah, man. Stay in the moment, you know, and enjoy all of it, regardless of outcome. Yeah. This is your guys' moment. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Apollo. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. Great talking to Declan. I can't wait for all the action on the ice. Join me. Milan is almost here.